Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's been a minute, admittedly, since I posted a video, but that's all about to change. Things are finally leveling out. I'm excited to be back out in the field. I'm excited to be making videos again. It's really exciting, really fun times. Today I am out at Starved Rock State Park. Came out here this morning because I realized that I had a pretty unique opportunity. The time change is actually tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, the sun is going to be rising at 6:30, but today the sun is rising at 7:30. So realizing that I had this opportunity to shoot what is called council overhang, where I'm at right now, to be able to shoot council overhang in that nice soft morning light where you're still getting those rich blues in the shadows and those nice warm tones on the trees, I couldn't pass it up. So I came out. I've actually got my camera set up right here. I'm going to take a few images and see what I can come away with this morning from Starved Rock. I'm really excited to be here, but there's a challenge with it too. And that challenge is that I want to get 3 images from this location that I'm happy with. They don't have to be like National Geographic award-winning images, but I want to get 3 photos that I'm really happy with, that I feel satisfied with. They can be of the overlook, or excuse me, the overhang here. They can be of textures, they can be of little details, whatever fits. But I'm really excited. It's peak color. This is going to be awesome. As you guys can see already, the yellows are incredible, and the sun isn't even up yet. The sun's still got like 5 minutes before it rises. So I'm gonna get behind the camera here, start setting up the shot. Let's check it out. So if I'm being 100% honest, this image really just doesn't do it for me. I had high hopes when I went out, and I thought this was going to work. I thought that that nice, soft blue light was going to help the scene. But what I quickly realized was the sky wasn't doing anything at all. That cloud bank had moved in, and really the sky just kind of became this big, ugly, white, blown out area, as you can see in the final image here. So as far as this scene goes, I think it could have been better. I think if the sky would have cooperated a little bit more, it would have been a more powerful image. I did try to process it. Despite that, I don't feel that I did a very good job, because I really just wasn't inspired to begin with because of the sky. But altogether, I do have other scenes of this location. I think it's probably honestly best served in winter after a fresh snowfall, but I guess that's all up for interpretation. Overall, not as great as I thought it was going to be, but it's okay. These canyon walls are phenomenal. This sandstone is picking up this light. It's got beautiful soft light across the face of it. But one thing that I'm really keeping in mind right now, and that I think helps me to build scenes like this, is some of the best advice I think I've ever gotten. And that is, look for light, not things. And it means exactly what you would think. I'm not necessarily looking for specific details in these walls. I'm looking for the way the light is interacting with them, the way they rise and fall, the way there's cracks in some areas and little swirls in others. It's really what you want to be looking for, is the way the light is falling across these interesting places. start by looking at the light, and then from there, start building a scene around it. I have my 70-200 on right now, and I'm pretty satisfied. Right now I'm at, looks like probably right about 110 millimeters. And I found this neat little wave in the sandstone here. And the way the light's hitting this is just beautiful. So I'm gonna show you guys that image here in a second. I kind of maybe feel like this might be cheating, getting two images from the same spot. We'll see, but it doesn't really exemplify fall color. I mean, it's kind of the same colors, but it doesn't really say fall. So we'll see. I'll show you guys the image. You tell me what you think.
This shot is actually one that I'm really happy with. I think that of all of the photos in the video, all the photos that I took that morning, I think this is the best one. And it might be because lately I've been very partial to small scenes and details, but I really like the way the light is moving through this sandstone rock face. I really like the way that this photo just, it pops. It's just, it gives you visual interest in a lot of different ways. The warm sandstone and those cool blue tones in the rock, they really work well together. Of course, it does not exemplify October, November, fall color, similar color palette, but this could have been at any point in the year. It could have been at any point in time. But overall, I really do think that this was probably my favorite image of the bunch, but you guys haven't seen the other ones yet, so let's get to those. Tell me what you think in the comments.
Full transparency, I have still not left the overhang. As I was about to put my gear away, I actually looked out and I saw the way the light is hitting these trees, and it's just beautifully backlit, but it's soft light. So I'm not getting those real harsh highlights. I'm not getting those crazy bright areas mixed with those crazy dark areas because the sun is still behind that cloud bank. And I have some really nice tree trunks that are straight enough in my scene here. I'm using the 70-200 because I want to try to compress them. They're a little staggered, so I'm hoping that by using a telephoto lens, I can kind of close that distance between them, make it look like a slightly more complete scene. There is one tree trunk that's kind of coming up and cutting the frame through the middle. That might look a little weird once I get it on the computer, I don't know, but I'm thinking this may be shot number 2. I'll show you guys the image here in just a moment. We'll talk about it, see how I feel about it once I've seen it on the big screen and made my edits. But I'm pretty happy with it, pretty excited about it. The light, the trees, the conditions, it's working out this morning. So fingers crossed this keeps up. Let's take a look at the picture.
This was actually my second favorite picture of the day. Now, the thing that I like about it is there's depth and there is color, but it's simplified. We have these vertical trees going up through the frame. We have those nice yellows in the leaves that are popping. They're really standing out against the background, which if you look at it, yeah, there's some greens in there, but I really like that. I like that soft light, that backlight, and I liked that there was depth, there was dimension. It's not as great as I otherwise would have liked it to be. I feel like it is still a little bit too busy for my taste anyways, but overall, not bad. I think it could have been better. I think that there's still some improvement needed to really make it a wow standout portfolio shot. but overall, not terrible. Would I put it in my final portfolio? Maybe. I'd have to spend a little bit more time with it, I think. Maybe try to reshoot the scene again next year, because the highlights coming through that background, I tried to clone stamp some of that out in post-production, but it gets to a point where too much is just blatantly obvious. So we'll see. I'll try it again, maybe in the spring with some greens, or we can go back and try it again next fall.
As I was coming through the canyon here, I noticed there's this little hill and this really beautiful yellow tree right over my shoulder here. And the way the light is kind of cascading into this canyon, it's giving it that nice backlit effect. There's no harsh light on it yet, but I can tell by the way the sun is rising that it's going to be here pretty quick. So what I'm trying to do is compress the scene just enough to where I can get that green tree right behind it and this yellow tree and the sandstone all kind of simplified into one scene, and layer that scene to make it feel three-dimensional, but also give the feeling of the seasonal change, the color change. Now, when I'm simplifying a scene, I do it one of two ways. Sometimes I start wide at 14, 20 millimeters and I'll slowly work my way in. Sometimes I start on the telephoto end and I slowly work my way out. In this case, when I first came up here, I had my 70 to 200 on. I realized that was going to be way too zoomed in. I was way too telephoto on the subject. So now I'm slowly backing off until I finally find that simplified, nice, cohesive scene. I'm going to share it with you here in a moment. We'll discuss it like we did the last one, but I'm thinking this might be my third shot. We'll take a look, check it out. A perfect example of why it's important to move around and just kind of work the scene, work the subject, is what just happened. So I came back down off the little ledge that I was on. I came a little bit further up the canyon because I wanted to see what the tree looked like from this direction. I was just around this bend here. I wanted to see what the tree looked like from this direction. And I think I actually found a much better composition over here than what I had originally. I did admittedly get a little bit distracted by the backlight and just maybe overemphasized it a little bit, but I feel like this composition is a little bit better. It's cleaner. There's not as much clutter. We'll take a look at this one next, show you guys this. We'll call this 3.5 because I feel like out of this little section that I just shot here, I'm pretty confident that I found a shot in this set, but we'll see, because we all know sometimes it looks great on the back of the camera. You come home, you look at it on the computer and you think otherwise. So let's talk about it.
When I looked at it on the back of the camera, I was not 100% sold that I had shot the location as well as I had hoped to. But when I got it on the computer, I looked at it and I like it. It's not perfect. I think that I could have spent a little bit more time, maybe moved around a little bit more and worked that scene a little bit better. I'm not 100% thrilled with the top corners, the upper left and the upper right. I feel like the branches being cut off or cutting into the frame kind of gives the eye a place to wander out of the picture. But overall, I like it. I like it because it's simple. You have the tree, you have the sandstone face, and you have the leaf litter on the ground that really just kind of brings it all together. It tells a good story. So as far as favorite fall image of this set, I would say it's most likely this one. My favorite image overall, I would say, is the sandstone one, but they're not bad. The others, that is. I just feel that the conditions didn't work for the other ones. It wasn't there, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But overall, it was a pretty solid experience. It was pretty good.
Well, guys, we've made it to the end of the trail. Right here behind me is Kaskaskia Falls, and because we've had a pretty dry season, unfortunately, there is no flow. There's really no waterfalls flowing anywhere in the park right now, and that's okay. That's just the way it goes sometimes, but it's still a beautiful park to visit. The fall colors here every year are just beautiful, extravagant, so much to see, so many trails to hike. But before we close it out, I wanted to explain why I chose 3 photos and why I did this exercise today. The biggest thing for me when I go anywhere, whether it be a morning hike, afternoon, evening, new location, whatever, I tell myself I want to come back with 3 images that I'm happy with. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that they're incredible, amazing, awe-inspiring winners. I just want to have 3 photos that I'm happy with from the back of the camera, because usually from those 3 images, I can pick one that I really, really like, that I'm really happy about, and take that from that experience. Now, of course, the experience is primary. I'm here because I love Starved Rock. I love October, fall color. Granted, it's November 1st, but it's still fall. I love the autumn season as a whole. So when I'm here, I'm just wanting to experience that and share that experience. And I've found over the years that when I go somewhere and I tell myself, I'm gonna take 3 photos, at least 3 photos, I should say, that I'm happy with. And really it's just, I'm gonna find 3 scenes and I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna work those scenes until I find something that I think might work, and I'm gonna bring it back and I'm gonna work on it, I'm gonna edit it, and if I still think it's a good photo, I'll keep it. But at least at that point, I have options. I have a choice of what story I want to tell about this experience. So that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed the discussions. Please like, subscribe, check that little bell so that you guys can be notified when new videos become available. Check out the podcast linked in the notes below the video. I do have a podcast that is focused here in the Great Lakes. Hang out with some really great photographers in the Great Lakes region, and we discuss all kinds of awesome topics. So check it out. Go follow it on your favorite podcast platform, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.